Those of you that have been following my channel for a while know that I've had a Mr. Heater portable buddy in the past. Couple of seasons ago, while cleaning out the workshop, garage, and reorganizing my camping gear, shop equipment, that sort of thing, the handle on my original one fell apart. When it let go, gravity took over, and the remainder of the heater was introduced with some force to a concrete floor, and it came into lots of little itty bitty pieces. I recently came across a very good price from a local reseller for a new Mr. Heater portable buddy. I'm not going to give the name of the retailer. They're a national chain. It's just my local outlet. They offer curbside pickup. This is the second device I've gotten from them. The first one, the box was open, and it was obviously a return. It looked like the one that was in there wasn't functional. It was dusty. It looks like the person that did it took it back. It looks like they had one that broke, and they bought a new one and just took the old one back. They put it in the new box, took it back as a return. Honestly, the store should have caught that and not reshelved it. This one was factory sealed, and we're going to do an unboxing of it. The Portable Buddy heater is very popular among the van life community, campers, hunters, RVers, and DIYers that have unheated shops, and particularly in colder climates, although here in Texas it doesn't get that cold. We do tend to travel up into colder climates during colder times of the year, and this has actually been very well. One's predecessor has been very readily available, and it did a really good job. I don't know if the specs are exactly the same between the old unit and the new one. This one says low of 4,000 BTUs, high of 9,000 BTUs. I seem to remember the old one had a low of 5,000, but I could be wrong about that. It's not really all that relevant. I do know, even on the low, this thing will crank out a ton of heat for a small space. But let's take a look at it. Let's unbox it and take a look, see what we've got. By the way, this knife I have here was a gift from my dad when I was in high school. We found it at a rummage garage type sale. I think it was like a community yard sale type thing as we were driving through Oregon. I believe we found this at a sale in Salem. When I recently dredged this up again, the ends were all oxidized and green. Used some Never Dull on it, brought it back to life. I'm going to cherish this knife for probably the rest of my days. I digress. Okay, so we've got the seal on the lid. Let's see, what do we have here? We've got an owner's guide with a sheet stapled to it. It's kind of weird. There's like an additional sheet appended to the first cover. I want to read it to you. It says, "Attention, Mr. Heater customer. Mr. Heater has improved the performance of the tip-over safety switch inside your heater. You can now hear the operation of the tip switch when the unit is shaken, bounced, or tipped upside down. Do not worry, this is only your tip switch operating as it was designed. If you have any questions, please call our technical service team at 1 800-251-0001. Thank you for your business. Okay, so I guess it was cheaper to just staple an additional laser jet printed sheet to an existing document than to print new documents. Okay, so there's the box contents. Let's tip it over, and I hope I'm not shaking the camera too much. Yes, the little tripod is standing on the same table I'm working with. Turn it right side up. Take the end piece. So the wider one went over the side where the fuel connects. Okay, looks like the only items in the box are the heater and the manual, which is what I expected. Okay, so there are some differences. Not a lot, but there's definitely some differences between the unit I had and this one. Okay, the control valve appears to function more or less the same way as the old one. The wall mount holes are still the same. The handle, carry handle, is a flip up now. The old one was actually up about here, and that actually makes this a little shorter. I kind of like that. And you can fold the handle out of the way. If you're going to hang this, you can hang right there. Say if you've got a solid wood, wood deer blind or whatever, cabin, RV, shop wall. Just make sure your clearances are right. You can just hang that by a couple of screws. The fuel inlet pivots, which my old one didn't. My old one was solid. So we're going to tip that out, and I'm going to show you something. Literally right before the old one took a trip to the floor, I had just purchased this. This is a Mr. Heater inline fuel filter. This keeps the gunk that gets washed out of the rubber hose from getting into your heater. It was not easy to install on my old one because I had to go this way and I got fat fingers and it's kind of hard to do. But if you look at this, make sure I'm lined up straight. I don't want to cross thread aluminum. There we go. We thread that on like that. Now we can thread the hose from a 20-pound tank onto this. I don't see a reason, and Mr. Heater doesn't recommend to use this with the little green 1-pound bottles. I don't plan on using this with the 1-pound bottle. So I'm going to leave this on, fold it down, and when I'm ready to connect it, we're already connected. Now, something I want to mention, and it's something I mention all the time, every single time I've been talking about propane. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this. Anytime you have a connection, any line, anything like that, any conveyance of fuel from tank to appliance, always, always, always check your connections, check your lines with soapy water. The easiest way to do that is with those pump up spray bottles filled with soapy water, and just spray the water, the soapy water, onto your connections and all, like I've shown in previous videos. If you have bubbles, you have a leak. If you have a leak, fix it before you use the appliance. You do not want an uncontrolled propane fire or explosion. When you store these, really when you're not using them, the best thing to do is keep them covered. For now, I'm going to use the plastic bag it came in to keep it covered up. I am going to try to find or make a nylon stuff sack specifically for the heater. That way, because this thing's going to deteriorate. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep the element here and the pilot light down there from getting gunked up with dust. So that's it. That is the Mr. Heater Portable Buddy. Let's get a little more comfortable and we can have a talk. And you don't have to see quite so much of me. I wanted to bring up some changes from the user's manual. I don't have the manual from my old unit, but I do remember, and Bob Wells with Cheap RV Living has mentioned some things that were relevant to the old recommendations that have changed. These are safety issues I wanted to bring up. Number one, I don't remember the old mentioning this. I'm going to put a screenshot right here in the video. And it says every time hose or tank is connected to unit, connection must be checked for leaks in one or more ways. Apply soapy water to connections. Look for bubbles. Listen for hiss of escaping gas. Feel for extreme cold. Smell for rotten egg odor, and do not use if leaking. The feel for extreme cold thing is something I didn't mention to you. Propane, when it expands, gets very cold. It'll actually get frost up. I've seen propane tanks under heavy use in camp in the summer in Texas get frost on them. So yeah, it does get very cold. The next item that I absolutely wanted to bring up is here. It's on page 3 of the English section of the manual and the safety instructions. This heater requires a minimum vent area of 9 square inches, example 3-inch by 3-inch opening, at the ceiling and at floor level for adequate ventilation during operation. Do not use other fuel burning appliances inside. Okay, the old recommendation, I clearly remember this, and Bob Wells has mentioned it. I'm pretty sure he's read the old manuals as well. They used to recommend 4 square inches, a 2-inch by 2-inch air makeup. They didn't say down low and up high, they just said 4 square inches. This recommendation makes much more sense to me. Okay, you want to induce airflow. You want the airflow coming from low, going to high. I don't know how you would do that in a van or an RV, but in a tent, particularly if you look at my 1,000 subscriber special, the overview of the Coleman Sundome 6 tent, that has a nice, I actually think it's like it's roundish, kind of a half round, but it's like a 6-inch or so wide by about 4 or 5 inch tall. It's more than enough space for the air to come in down low. And it's got all that screen space up top. I don't see oxygen makeup being any kind of problem in that tent. I would very much like to go outside, plug this thing, hook this thing up, test the connection, turn the gas on, light it off, and show it to you. You've seen me light off and connect a Mr. Heater Portable Buddy before. I will link the video down below for those that haven't seen it yet. So I mentioned it with the Coleman Sundome tent overview, my 1,000 subscriber special. We are planning on taking a camping trip here very soon. The weather should be cooling off. I don't want to use the Coleman liquid fuel heaters. So in the vein of having one fuel supply, for all my camping stuff, I'm going to take the propane. And so we're going to bring the propane stove, the propane heater, propane shower. We're going to do the nines up. That's assuming that we're boondocking. If we're not going to boondock, then I'm going to have to adjust. I probably won't have to use the shower if we go to a state park campground, because they have nice hot indoor showers, at least here in Texas. In other states where I've camped, unlike Texas, which has nice hot running water, showers, flushing toilets, that sort of thing, nice clean bathroom facilities in the state park campgrounds. There are other states where I've camped in their state park campgrounds, and they're pit vault type toilets and no showers and barely any running water at the campsites. So yeah, we're a little spoiled here. If we are boondocking, on the other hand, and there are boondocking opportunities here, although not as much as there are out west. There's just not as much public land, in the eastern and southern states as there is in the far western states. But if we do end up boondocking, I'm going to want to bring plenty of water, the hot water shower, the flushing toilet, that kind of thing. Mostly for the comfort of whom I'm camping with, but also I'm getting older and I want to be more comfortable when I camp. Okay, so we're going to show that stuff to you as we get into our campsite and as we get set up to use it. I really hope you enjoy this upcoming video or set of videos, depending on how we want to break it up. And we'll see you then. I'll probably come up with some more content between now and then. And I really look forward to producing that for you. Take care, and thanks for watching. If you like my videos, remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to go back into the old catalog by clicking my channel and then clicking on the videos link. There's lots of decent stuff back there you may be interested in. And like I always say to you folks, be busy, be productive, be safe, but most of all, be blessed. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.